Yay!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the High Vibe Tribe. Excuse me. We are live at 5 on Friday. High five. Yeah, we have an amazing hour planned for all of you. We have an incredible guest with us, Suki. Hello, beautiful. Yay! Glad
Hello, everybody.
And
thank you for inviting me.
I
said thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. I thought you said someone was blocking you. I'm like, I hope not.
No. Okay, might be my Birmingham accent that you're hearing something else because I get that quite often.
Okay, or we could just.
So I apologize if I say something that sounds rude. I'm famous.
No, you're fine. What we should do is we should go to the High Vibe Tribe on Facebook and share it over to our pages and in our groups, so that way everybody know that we are live at 5 Friday. Today is August 28th, 2020. And when you add all those numbers up together, what shows up is a master number 22. So we're going to be talking about that today as well. We're going to be talking about masks. We're going to be talking about who we are, what's been going on, what's been happening. So while everyone is jumping on and our guests are chiming in and telling us where they're meeting us in from and popping in and telling us what's happening, Ashni, tell us how you are and what's happening, girl.
Well, things are good. Transformation is happening. A lot of different stuff. So, yeah, it's been quite interesting here in Orlando. The weather is unpredictable. It's hot, and then it's so nice and beautiful. We know what's happening around the country. Derek, where you are, we have all those fires. Hopefully everyone is safe and not a lot of damage to many people. And I would say, remember, even if you're having issues, even if you're having difficulties, you're bigger than just this body that is there. So enjoy this moment. I am doing my best. I have my hot water bottle with me, as you can see, because there are places in the body that need a little extra attention today. So I'm doing that. And yeah, we have awesome stuff happening today on this particular platform. So thank you for joining us.
Oh my goodness, yes. There is something tickling my throat. It's going tickle, 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 tickle.
Throat Chakra is getting ready to launch some truth out today.
Angel feathers.
Holy cow. Excuse me. Woo. Wow. Derek, tell us about these fires that are happening. Are they out yet? Have we put them out?
There's still a lot going on. It's a crazy time. You see the fires here, things like the hurricane, just a lot of the polarity going on in the world and the country right now. And it's very nice to step back and see it from an observer point of view once in a while, and perhaps even a time to do some close personal work and also hold space for others that are seeing all of this turmoil and riding the polarity that's just so apparent in the world right now. So that's kind of been my theme. I was contemplating surfers for some reason, being here in California, and there's crests and there's troughs of these waves, and this is like positive and negative, yin yang, just polar energy. And these surfers with delicate and gentle and easy grace find that sweet point between just these crests and troughs of crazy energy. and they don't even have to barely move. They just balance. And all of the motion that happens is from the wave itself, almost like this universal force. And they're able to find that sweet spot and flow. So if we can hold space for others as all of this polarity is happening and be in that sweet spot of flow, we're doing some good work as light workers together.
Yeah, thank you. That's beautiful. And I felt that when all 5 of us got on and we were, behind stage together, we were so much space that we were all telepathically just like chatting, with each other, welcoming each other and connecting, not that we were disconnected, but just this like mutual like love, and gratitude and thankfulness for who we are. So
very much so.
Ross, good afternoon.
Hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Hello, our fellow member.
Hi, Ross. Hello.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, lovely. Glad you're here with us.
Hi, Sandy.
Michael.
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 Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing this week? So, Priscilla, tell us what's happening in South Africa. How are you doing?
Well, in South Africa, pretty much the same. We are all over the place at the moment. We've also been having sort of high winds, and one day it's beautiful and hot, the next day it's storms and wind are blowing and trees are falling down, and so it's been a little bit chaotic. And so the country is slowly getting back to a little sense of normality for them. We've been dropped down to a level 2, so we're just trying to navigate it all. But a lot of people have been affected by everything that's happened to us, and it's just a slow process. But generally it's pretty okay at the moment, so we're not too bad.
I think you're still on mute.
Yeah, maybe I need to unmute. So it's sort of an in-between, like an ebb and flow, Priscilla, in South Africa?
Definitely. It's definitely like an ebb and flow, in the sense of sometimes it's like going really well and everything is well and the weather is beautiful, and then the next minute, all hell breaks loose and it's crappy weather and it's, all those sort of things as well.
Yeah, it's unprecedented, the weather.
Yes, definitely.
That have been showing up on the planet. Like the first time ever in the history here in the United States of there ever being reported a warning put out, a watch happening for a fire tornado. But we had it. And it was in the state that Derek's in California.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. Like, it never existed, and now it does. Like, what energy, space, and consciousness, right, does that happen to create that force of something brand new, of a fire tornado? Right? Like, can you, like...
It's crazy.
Yeah,
strangely enough, I was using that analogy of fire with a client today, saying, that when things are happening in our lives, I said it's like a fire coming through and just destroying a forest, and everything has been destroyed. But from that, the shoots and the plants start to grow. So it's kind of like a cleansing, a clearing away of the old and making way for a new birth or a time of rebirth, in a sense. So fire is very cleansing.
Yes, it's sort of mesmerizing too. You can sort of drift away and use it as a meditation. I sort of think like fire to me is kind of like a portal. Like you can just like go in and kind of like burn off all the stuff that no longer, is required to like be a part of your life. And
it's a cleansing. It's a clearing away of the old.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's quite significant that it's actually California that's having all this fire and destruction and cleansing, with everything sort of going on that way. You know what I mean?
We need a good scrub down over here.
Yeah. Makes for fun.
It's sort of like, well, so not only was the fire tornado brand new, creation on the planet, but for the first time ever, we had double hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. Double, like, hurricanes. And one's a Cat 5, category 5.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't like, you don't want to mess with these. It's not like, okay, yeah, I'll take my little, trash can in from outside, so it doesn't blow away. No, this is like batten down the hatches, like 100+ mile an hour winds, like, like pay attention kind of big storms. And we have two in the Gulf. And it reminded me of the eye of the storm. Mm-hmm. Because in the middle of a hurricane is an eye. Mm-hmm. And that's where there's no weather. It's like still. There's no wind, there's no rain. It's completely still in the eye of the storm. And you can go out and have a party, and you don't have to worry about, shingles flying around and, roofs coming up in the eye of the storm. So it's sort of, and we have two. So what are we, right? What is this storm? What are these hurricanes teaching us, humanity? What is the fire teaching us? What is the message from these? What is it that we're not willing to acknowledge or know that if we were, could change, choose, and institute a different, and I sort of feel like it's a level of frequency that, if we're willing. And so, yeah, maybe this is the truth bomb coming out, because I don't feel tickled anymore. Yeah, because it's kind of like, the barometric pressure, like in storms, like drops and raises, and it affects the fish and the tides and, all that kind of stuff. It's like, what if we could see, like, the eye of the storm, right? What if we could see the truth? What if these storms are giving us information on seeing the truth, and the tornado, the fire tornado, is like cleansing. It's time to see, cleanse, to take action within ourselves personally and within our families and our lives and our businesses to, really step up and take back our potency and our power. What resonates with you? Well, let's say hi to our guest first. Hello, Suki.
Hi,
hello. Hello, everybody. Hello everyone watching. I hope you're all. Sorry.
We love having you here.
Oh, thank you. I mean, Priscilla told me earlier on the week, oh, by the way, you're a guest. Where she just like dropped it on me, and I was like, okay. And then on Wednesday, in the middle of the day, it was like, oh, by the way, we have to record an introduction. And so in the middle of the day, in my working day, I was like, okay, let me take a lunch break and let's record the introduction. And then today, it was like, it's so synchronistic, the conversation that we're having here about the eye of the storm and the fire and the energies at the moment, because I've been dealing with a situation on a personal level around me, and I called my sister the red fire dragon. I said, you are like a red fire dragon, because she's all about, well, when I see injustice, I have to speak. I have to speak, because she can't hold it in. And until she does, she's like this whirlwind. And until she sort of like speaks her truth, she can't settle. And as you were saying, sit in the middle of the storm. And it's the situation is about protecting the vulnerable, protecting the elderly, protecting those who are not feeling strong enough at the moment to against the storm. So they are giving up, or they are giving to the energies that are around us at the moment. We need people like the red fire dragon, as I was saying, to stand there with their shield and be that protective force around individuals who are finding it very difficult to navigate the energies at the moment. I mean, obviously in England, we don't have the kind of extreme weathers that, you know, you are talking about with the fires in California and, you know, the hundred and what the huge winds. I mean, anything over 10 miles an hour wind in the UK is like, it's a disaster area. So it's how people cope.
Yeah.
It's very crazy. You know, if we get, I mean, Priscilla knows because she's lived in the UK. If we get a little bit of snow, everything comes to a standstill, and anything below minus, you know, even hitting zero, it's like the end of the world. So it is about perspective as well. It's about looking at around you. Are you going to be the storm, or are you going to be the one in the center, keeping the balance? You know, and not getting involved in the storm and keeping the clarity. And when you have clarity and when you are still, you are able to see the truth in its 100%, 100% basically. And that's what's been happening in my world in this few weeks. And again, with people that have been caught as well, it's they don't know whether they're coming or going. And when you say to them, well, just sit still. And it's like, what do you mean, sit still? Just sit still. Just take 5 minutes out of your day because it's your time. Just sit still. And they really understand. Does it mean to sit still? That doesn't mean sit there and watch, put the TV on. Just sit in a quiet room, put a candle on, and just sit in your space. Because you are either the storm or you are the light within that storm. So yes, so this is really the conversation we're having is very synchronistic.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah,
and I felt it when we were all there. In fact, I just said, we all need to get back in our bodies to do this live stream. I'm like, do we have to? You know, because it's just so much fun playing outside. So, you know, Ashni is our breath expert and meditation specialist. So I'm sure she has something to also confirm, you know, Suki, what you're saying, you know, about the clarity and the calmness and a candle and, you know, peace.
Yes, definitely. I appreciate Suki touching upon this because it's really, really important for the individual to reach their own core space. And you said just sit still for 5 minutes. Just be for 5 minutes or more. Take yourself to that place and just be. Because in that stillness, in that being, there is so much that can sprout out from there. And for many people, it's also really foreign to get to that silent space. It gets a little uncomfortable. They're not used to it, especially someone who hasn't done this for never done this. You know, they don't know what it means. It becomes uncomfortable. But just staying with that. Start with 1 minute. Start with 2 minutes. Just be there, and go through that discomfort that happens. Keep breathing. Put your attention. If you need to close your eyes, close your eyes. Just go within. Be with you. Here is something else I want to share that it's not mine, but I heard it from someone. If you cannot be with you, imagine what kind of person you are to be around others. So first be with you, be with yourself. Enjoy your own company, so the rest of the world can also enjoy your company. You know, so that was my little contribution I wanted to make.
I call it the breath between the breath.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the fear that comes up in people when you say just sit still. You know, it's the when I say to them, be in the breath between the breath. And it's like, huh? It's like it's taking that moment to just center yourself, and you don't have to be sitting in, you know, any particular position. Just on your favorite chair, And it's that stillness, that quietness, and whether you do it for a couple of minutes or a little bit longer if you can, the serenity that it brings you, it takes you out of the storm and into the center space. And that's very that can be quite a fearful journey for people to take. But what's to fear when you find that point where you are feeling that you are actually connecting with yourself? What's wrong with that? But people aren't used to doing that. People aren't used to standing that level of connection with themselves, because it's all out there. It's all out there. It's all out on the screens. It's all out with other people. It's out all the time. And then when they are in the storm and they are desperately trying to find a sense of peace, and because nothing can change that storm, and they are finding that struggle, it's like, no, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. All you need is for you 5 minutes in the day. Just gift yourself that time, and it'll be the best gift that you will give yourself that day. And if you can do that every day, it's like you will look forward to that 5 minutes, and you will want more and more and more.
True. And then sometimes you really don't want to come back to this world that is like, but you live here. So we have a body, we have a home, we have all of these other things. So, being here in everything that comes with, and then also being settled within you.
Yeah, absolutely. Priscilla, Suki is one of your besties, and you're both psychic mediums. Would you, do the honor of telling us how you both met and a little bit more about her and like the specific topic that you two are going to be bringing up and, sort of sharing with all of us, because today is the day and now is the time.
Yeah, well, I used to live in the UK, and I used to work for a online psychic company, and every year they would have a stand at a huge big festival in London and Birmingham. And it was at I think Birmingham one, wasn't it, that we met? Or was it the London one?
Birmingham.
I think the London one. This was the
London.
first, yeah.
London, because the London one. They weren't doing the Birmingham ones at that point.
Yeah, you were doing the London ones at that point. And the guy Barney would have this huge tent, and there would be
oh, we lost Priscilla.
Her internet connection off.
Shall I continue the story until she logs back on?
Yeah.
Are you there? Are you back?
back. It's the end of the month.
What Priscilla was saying, she comes back on, is we met in this huge tent in the middle of this exhibition center. And carry on, Priscilla.
Yeah, so we'd always sat in one corner, myself and Owen and Suki and Joanne, and the four of us would cause such a ruckus the whole 4 days. They eventually separated us because we used to just chat and laugh and have some kind of time in between all our readings.
Yeah.
And so the next time they actually separated us and put us in other places in the film, we were very upset because
they split
we liked our little corner.
They split the Four Musketeers up. But it was.
We were very upset about that.
Wow.
And we've just become, very, very good friends from there. And then last year, when I had my huge event, I invited Suki and Owen and Fraser, who I've known throughout from the shows. And they came over to South Africa to my huge festival. And we had the most wonderful holiday. So they had a wonderful time.
It was amazing. Africa is an amazing country. Everybody, if they have a chance, they should visit. It is full of such beauty and such beautiful people. It's a shame about other things that prevent people from stepping foot in the country, but it's just an awesome country. It really is.
Yeah.
And we had such
So
a
last
fantastic
year when
time at the
Suki
show.
was supposed
We really
to
did.
come, when Suki was supposed to be here last.
Oh, we did. We lost her
She gone
again. I think
Yeah.
it's the
Priscilla
internet.
gives the best hugs.
Does she? Oh, it's the. I
Yeah.
think it's the
Yeah,
internet.
literally. It's like you're hugging. You get being hugged by the whole world. She gives the best hugs.
Oh, that's incredible. I think we got her back now. Hi, Priscilla. Welcome back.
Yeah, the internet is bad today, unfortunately. It's called African internet.
Yeah.
Interference of something. Let's invite them
they don't want me
to the
to
other side.
So you two.
I'm getting my silence and I'm just like.
There we go. We got feathers, toning.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So what is our topic this week, Priscilla? That you're in.
Well, last year, Suki and Owen first do a course, which ended up not happening. But it was about unveiling the masks we wear. So we all cut the world wearing certain masks. And so Suki's course is all about that. So I thought, because last week we had been talking about that, about masks we were wearing, and Derek and I were chatting about it, remember? And it was just like, I thought, well, Suki is the perfect person for that, because she actually does this for a living. This is her course that she runs. And we've all got our masks. I came with my kitty cat once out.
Did you guys bring a mask today?
I put mine
on. We've all got our masks, and it's so important that we have our masks on, you know. And so I'll let Suki explain about her course and all about that.
So Suki, what is it about masks?
Well, basically, it was.
Yes.
I think how this concept developed was it's got nothing to do with COVID way, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is about the masks that we wear as individuals. It's looking at with some of my clients that I was seeing, you know, whether it was as a counselor or whether it was as a psychic medium, there was always a sense of the person not being their authentic self. And I would say to them, okay, how do you present yourself to people around you? How do you present yourself to, say, your husband or your children or your work colleagues or even to yourself? And they would say, oh, yes, you know, but especially when somebody's going through a grief, when they have lost a loved one, and it's keeping the face on, it's keeping the mask on, you know, and not revealing what's actually going on behind that mask. And that really got me thinking, yes, you know, you can wear a mask when you're trying to, you know, keep that sense of keep going every day, and you don't want other people to see how upset you are or how you are falling apart, so you put the mask on. And masks can be two ways. They can be protective, but they can also be to stop other people getting to you. So it's a barrier as well. So that's how when we came up with the concept, myself and I, it was about getting people to see what I'm doing, because it can make you feel very uncomfortable. And we all do it. We all do it. You know, ladies, our mask can be makeup. You know, we put our makeup on and we feel that we can't face the world until we put our makeup on. And we use that as a barrier, but we can also use it as a way of protecting ourselves as well, as I said. So there's multiple layers to individuals as to why do they wear the mask. That's the first question. You know, what is the purpose of wearing a mask? What advantages do you have of wearing the mask? And again, glasses, it doesn't have to be a full mask. We can hide behind large glasses. We can hide behind a multitude of barriers that we put up So yes, there you go, Priscilla, ladies. So that's how the masks we wear came up, and it's interesting because when people start to peel up, because you can wear multiple masks, okay, and there's always a reason and a purpose. It doesn't always have to be. A lot of it is based on trauma and is based on protection, and it's based on faking it till we make it sort of concept, in that, well, if I present myself as somebody who's confident, then I can gain this and gain that. But you always get to a point where the mask becomes suffocating, and that's when we start to really unravel, and we need to start looking at the reasons why. So yeah, it's a hugely interesting subject. So I would say to an individual, I mean, if I'm looking at my own personal reasons why I wore a lot of masks, it was to hide issues that were going on in my personal life, because I felt I was like two people. At home, I was one individual, but when I was at work, I was sort of seen as somebody who was quite confident, who was quite, capable, and seeing somebody who wouldn't marry the two. Basically, you would never see me as the home person at the work placement because I had a different mask on. Okay, and when these two worlds clash, and at some point they do clash, it is, well, okay, where's me in all of this? Where am I in all of this? And that's when your journey of self-discovery starts, is when you start taking stuff and start asking yourself the real, who's actually there I can connect with. And again, going back to our earlier conversation about sitting still, sitting in the eye of the storm and connecting with ourselves, those masks can start to fall off very quickly. And one of the things I found is that when I started taking off my masks, I was losing people around me because they didn't like me without my mask. They didn't understand me when I was saying, well, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the doormat anymore. I don't want to be your go-to person for you to dump your emotional stuff on. Sort it out yourself. So you're taking self-responsibility by when you start to take those masks off. And sometimes when you, sorry?
How can we do it? So we have like a huge audience, and I would even like, do you have tips, tools, resources that, because I felt like until my son turned 18, like I had to be mom, and obviously was shaking her head up and down because I passed the baton to her when I had to go out of town, and then she had to wear the mask of mom, my son, and that was interesting. So like, we sort of lose ourselves in our mask, and some are given to us. I feel like some are given to us, and some we take on ourselves. How do we deal with this? How do we fix it? How do we shift? Let's shift and uplift this.
First of all, decide which mask you want to address first. Okay. For a woman, it could be the mask that she wears with the partner. It could be the mask that she wears in the family. It could be the mask that she wears at work. First address which mask is causing you the most pain, because masks do get to a point where they are causing the most pain. And it's a sense of feeling that you have. For a lot of women in particular that I have met through my work, it's a sense of, I feel empty. I feel empty inside, but I have so much. And it's asking yourself, okay, which mask do I need to address first? And start asking the question, why do I wear that mask? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of the reaction of the other person if I say what I really want to say? And then it goes to, if you want to dig a little bit deeper, it goes to the blockages in your voice, your throat chakra. So it's about that healing journey that you need to take, or to be, for example, strong enough for you to not need that mask as much as you need to. So it is about being honest with yourself as well. It's asking yourself the right questions. Why do I keep putting myself through this when I don't like it? So the mask is saying something else. Behind that mask, listen to yourself. What are you actually telling yourself? And once you listen, when you are sitting in of the while the storm is going on around you, you will get your answers.
Nice.
And the masks will soon start to come off. It's not something, and I'm not going to say it happens overnight. So don't just go out there and think, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to take that one and that one. It's like it's that's traumatic for an individual. Start off with the one that is making you the most uncomfortable, and we all know what that is. We all know what that is. When I say to people, I'm a naturally shy person, and they just laugh at me, and it's like, no. I said, internally, I'm a naturally shy person. I like my company. I like my quiet space. But when I need to, I can be my other self, which is symbiotic to who I am. It's not a mask that I wear. I can step into that role, I can step into that character, but it's not because I'm hiding from people. It's because I'm still being my authentic self, but I don't need to put that mask on. I don't need to show myself in a particular way because society wants to see me that way, because the other person wants to see me that way. How do you see yourself? How do you want to see yourself? How do you
I was going to ask Derek.
Sorry?
I was going to ask Derek because, he's like 1 against 4 with and, so Derek is a spiritual awakening mentor and a guide. Derek, how does this resonate with you, and how do you see the masculine, the divine masculine with math?
Sure. All of this, a lot of synchronicities in this talk, and it's awesome. We're in a very hard world right now. We're in a polar world. We're in a time when, yes, certainly divine masculine is hurting. We haven't even defined what divine masculine really is as a society, and we're starting to find that. And we do undertake a lot. Some of the masks, as you said, are handed to us. We receive trauma. We become programmed. We're indoctrinated with thought in schools at a very young age. And we take on these personalities that are our mask. It's very easy to confuse our ego with what and who we really are. And that's why it can be so hard to take those masks off, is because we don't know what we really are. And you can ask somebody, what are you? And they might say, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a government worker, I'm a pilot, whatever. But none of this stuff is what we really are. And you ultimately do have to discover that pure being. And we talk about being that center of the storm. And it's amazing how the universe, or whatever you'd want to call, what we call God or source, speaks in metaphor to us. And so these storms are a perfect metaphor for us to understand what we really are. There's all of this craziness going on, and it's swirling and churning, but in that quiet, still space is where you get the answer to what we really are. If you can sit in that eternally present moment and connect in that quiet, calm time, that is where you get the answer to what we really are, that we are pure, that we are whole, that we are divine light, that we are truth, and that there's absolutely nothing missing from us. We only have the masks of our disillusionment, of our distortion, that we're not already whole, complete beings. So as we rest in this completeness, it isn't so much about taking the mask off as an effort, is that it starts to fall off. almost like layers of an onion. And the further away it is from you, the denser the energy is, and it is a burden. It's tough to carry, and those layers fall away and become lighter and lighter as we approach that core, that truth of what we really are. And we may see that as we shed those masks, that weight and that vibration, that our circle of friends change, that we find the high vibe tribe, that, you know, all of these shifts start happening in our life as we lose that which isn't really us. And what a wonderful and I feel like I'm just kind of coattailing on what everyone's already said, but I'm feeling this. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if I look at my own journey with the masks that, you know, I was wearing, it's how others saw me. That mask reflected how others saw me, how they wanted to see me, wear a mask. And you're absolutely right, in Janice, going back to, and one of the first questions I started myself, well, what about me? What about me? What do I actually want? Who asked me? I'm asking me now. And that's a really good starting point. It's one of the basic starting points. And as Dirk said, we are perfect beings. We just need to acknowledge that to ourselves. And when you start to acknowledge that and accept that, and you start to, you know, it's not a magic wand that somebody waves at us and all of a sudden we come out the shower all sparkling. It is a journey. And that journey can be up and down a little bit, you know, it can be full of pain and fear, but at the end of the day, that journey takes you to such a place within you that is absolutely incredible when you step into your authentic self, when you find that place of centeredness within you that brings that sense of connection, not just connection with yourself, but connection to everything and everyone out there in a very open-hearted, loving and truthful way, because you are being open-hearted and truthful and loving to yourself. You do not need that from externally. It starts here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because it's good to hear it again and again. You do not need it from out there. It starts within. And you mentioned something, and while you were talking, this came to me, and I wanted to share it, because as you say, it doesn't happen overnight. It is a process. It is, especially the moment you start getting more and more to you, to your own center, to being more and more authentic. That is also when you get all of these judgments. At least this is my own experience. People are going to say things, and it's being pointed, oh, you are this way and you are this way. And now, like, wait a second, am I really? No, I'm not. So it's like, not here. So it's my journey. And as I am going through my journey, every individual is having their own journey of going through it to get back to who you are. You who is full and complete and pure and wonderful and all of the good stuff.
Yeah, it's very true. And
because if I say I don't I mean, I would say I don't need you to understand me as long as I understand me.
Yes.
And that's it. I don't need to explain myself to you as to why I do what I do. I don't need your permission to do what I do, because I'm perfectly comfortable and strong in my own essence to know that I am who I am, and I know who I am. And that's taken me probably a good 20 years in the journey, you know, and the sense of discovery of the self is like every day when you get up and you think, what am I going to do today? That sense of self becomes very connected with the people around you, because when they start to see themselves, there is no place for the storm to be. The storm leaves because you're not creating that space for that storm to exist. You're not creating the energy where you are banging heads against each other because I want to see you the way I want to see you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't fit. Exactly, that doesn't fit. And you have to fit yourself, because you are unique. As much as we are all a collective, we are connected in one energy, you are still an atom, a individual within that energy, within that oneness. You make up that oneness. So you are part, when you are part of that oneness, when you are connected in such a way, like the connection I have with Priscilla, she's all the way down in South Africa, but when I can feel her energy because of that you know, that connection that you have with that individual, and I can listen. Sometimes I can hear her going, Suki, I need you to call me, or you know, can you do this for me? And I'm like, what is she getting me into now?
No.
And it's great.
Yeah, we always do that. We always have a very strong
it is
bond.
about trusting yourself as well. Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Trusting yourself. You need to be able to trust that you are going to do the best for you. And that is a journey in itself. Because when we are being told this is what's best for you, and you go, okay, you know, this is what I want you to, because I'm telling you I'm doing it for you, when in actual fact it's not. They are doing it for themselves. They are making themselves feel better by keeping in that space. So it's you know, we could speak till the end of the year on this subject, because they're so multi-layered, but everyone's journey is unique. But at the same time, everyone's journey is, you're going down the same road. We are all traveling on the same road. We've just got to recognize and stop bumping each other off and throwing each other into the ditch because I want the whole road to myself. There's no need for you to do that, because there's plenty of room for you.
Suki, I love how like like Mother Nature, the weather, the earth is like teaching us, you know, to like have the awareness that there's a different possibility. It's like, look, you are all not getting it. So you know what? I'm going to throw some hurricanes at you. You know, I'm going to throw this brand new fire tornado thing at you. Like, pay attention. And you're spot on when you said that we're all on the same path. Like, we are all here with ascension. You know, we all showed up at this lifetime right here, right now. We're on the planet, you know, to create the change that's required, you know, for our soul's evolution, which is for everyone's soul's evolution. And as much as we're in it with ourselves, we're in it with everyone else. And that's how this high vibe tribe, you know, came about, was to bring conscious people together to have conscious conversations. And I love what you're saying, because we've been taught to wear masks, you know, even as little kids. I mean, like, how many of us were superheroes? Right? Like for Halloween, or, you know, and even schools, they have dressed up as your favorite storybook character, you know? So, I mean, it was like Peter Pan one time, you know, or Wendy or something like that. And we're all about not be like ourselves are not okay. You know, we're being told that, you know, it's something else. It's something greater. It's something different. It's, you know, it's not you, it's this. So as a psychic medium, and I know Priscilla's having a hard time with her internet, both of you as psychic mediums, like how, because you know the stuff that we don't want you to know.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna lie about it. We're just gonna throw it out there and be like, okay, so we're all for, like, we can lie. Who do we lie to the best? We lie to ourselves, right? I mean, okay, so we'll admit that. So let's all admit
all the time.
like we're great liars and we lie the best to ourselves, right? And so as psychic mediums, you and Priscilla, Suki, like, have the awareness of where even just saying this,
it's really scary. Because when you're sitting there and somebody is sitting in front of you and I call it the BS monitor, it just goes up and up and up and up, and I'm sitting there and I'm going and it's like I look at them and the masks are falling off, and then I ask that one question, they go and literally everything just like they got hit by a hurricane and an earthquake and a fire tornado all at the same time. And it's like, well, what about you? What do you mean? What about me? Yes, but so and so said, no. What about you? What do you really want? And again, it's as psychic mediums, it can be quite funny, in the sense of, come on, let's help you get on, let's help you get onto that road again. Because if you feel that you've fallen into a ditch, let's help you get onto that road again. Let's help you to start to understand you actually are wearing masks, and that is the first step that somebody takes to acknowledge that actually I do this for them, I do this for this person, I do this for that person, but what do you actually do for yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you want to be in yourself? And if that makes everyone else unhappy around you when you are learning to be you, then that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, because you are tearing yourself away from the mask that they are putting on you, that you before were quite happy to put on because you didn't know anything else, because you didn't exist behind the mask. You existed with the mask and you presented yourself as the mask was allowing you to present yourself. And that can be, and as psychic mediums, it's almost, and Priscilla will say as well, we can almost feel the energy. It's not about seeing that so through, it's feeling that person's energy. Where's the centerness of themselves, and how can I help that person to reach the centerness of themselves? It's not about forcing them down that journey, because that would be totally unethical. It's about giving them that helping hand and perhaps holding their hand for a little while on that journey, but empowering themselves.
Could we ask our audience, would it be okay, Suki and Priscilla? So if you're on listening, or if you know of someone who's on, go tag them. Tag them in the comments or put this over to them. And so what would be the question to ask about this to support someone? Like, do you tell people, like, do you want people to say what masks they think they're wearing, and then you say, no, there's another one that's I don't know, what do we do?
Maybe like what mask would they like to remove?
When somebody starts to take the mask off.
Okay,
yeah,
so
definitely. It's giving and empowering that individual, empowering that person, and
so let's get our
you've cut out again.
Sorry, my internet is very bad tonight, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, one of the questions is that, a lot of people, especially over the last, year that we've been, having all our ups and downs, have had to wear certain masks, and masks about having to cope with stress, having to cope with putting on a brave face amidst all this anxiety and tension and stress that we've been going through. So what I've been finding with all my clients is that when I'm seeing them, I'm able to allow them to not in a sense remove their mask, but for me to be able to just see behind it without them having to acknowledge that it's there. So it's about allowing them to have that peace of mind that, okay, I know I've got this mask and you can see what's behind it, so I don't have to pretend. I don't have to pretend anymore to be confident, to be happy, to be, having everything together in this time. And it's about putting that smile on your face, but you're able as a psychic to see behind that and give them the help that they need. So they don't have to then bare their soul, because sometimes it's hard, to acknowledge that you're wearing a mask and that you are struggling.
Yeah. And I feel that like a lot of us take on masks from our experiences that we've had.
Yes.
I was a widow, so there's like a widow mask. I have a chronic illness, so I think there's a chronic illness mask.
You can't even speak anymore.
A mask for chronic illness. And so for me, I guess until our audience pops in with questions, like, what are you two, Suki, what are you aware of that, say, Ashni, Derek, and I, could shed some light on, removing some of these masks, or do they need to be validated, or is something else? Maybe you have an awareness of something else that might be a contribution.
Not all masks are negative, okay? Because some masks that we wear with ourselves to the world out there, they're protective. So not all masks are negative that we wear. We and as long as we understand that we are presenting ourselves, I'm putting that mask on, not somebody else putting it on me. I'm putting that mask on, and I'm presenting myself in a way where I'm protecting my energy, I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting my authentic self, because I know what would happen if I take the mask off fully, okay, and fully reveal myself. It's the reactions of others. So with if you're saying that you are wearing certain masks, that would be, it's not a case of you are wearing certain masks. You are being your authentic self. However, when you are presenting yourself to the world out there, you are doing it in order to be in the center of the storm, shall we say, and not be the storm. Okay? Because again, people are used to people are used to that. So not all masks are in negative, as I say. So I don't you wouldn't be here if you hadn't had peeled so many masks off. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You wouldn't be feeling the energies out there if you were still in that state of fear, if you were still in that state of and we still have fears that hit us at a certain point, but it's about identifying, why is that making me fearful? Do I need to, and not rushing to the mask and saying, okay, I'm okay when you're actually not. So you wouldn't be sitting here if you felt that you were wearing certain masks that were a barrier between you and the rest of the world.
So Suki,
you wouldn't be thinking along those lines of, let's open up the arena and have these conversations.
Thank you. It sort of feels like, thank you. I'm thanking you.
Sorry, I missed that, Susan.
I said thank you. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
It feels like Suki and Derek and Ashley and Priscilla, like chime in at any time, that it's sort of like we are being the energy of what's required at the time that we're there. And I've taught my son about doing this. It's sort of like, there's an energy, a mask that we need to wear to actually like create greater, on the planet, right now. And would we be willing to kind of play with the masks of, like I've got the single mom mask, I've got the, you know, 12-time #1 best-selling author mask. You know, so, you know what I'm saying? So it sort of feels like
Yeah.
would we
Yeah.
be willing, right, to be the energy of what's required, you know, at the time to create something greater on the planet? No? Yes?
But you're owning it. That's the difference. You, yeah. You're cutting out. But what I'm saying is you own that mask. It's not something you're having to wear in order to perform in a certain way. You own that mask. We can create our masks as well in the way we want to be. We want to present ourselves out there, and that's not the same as having to wear a mask that because of circumstance, because we haven't done the work on ourselves. That's totally different. And
Yeah.
and it's when you sit there and you say to a person, I see you behind those masks. And it's very rare for people to, I think, to sometimes hear, I see you. They're not used to people seeing them, because they are so used to like being with that mask on, you know, hiding behind those masks. And that's what myself and Priscilla do. We, like she said, we see that person, and that person almost has to ask permission to be themselves.
Yes,
To be
100%.
themselves, and that is the start of the journey. Is give yourself permission to be you. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the most rewarding part of our work, is when we see the person, even when we do say a sitting, a mediumship reading or something, and the shift in that person's energy from when they first sit in front of you is incredible. I've had people come in and they will look like, you can see the grayness in their energy when they come in, and when they leave, it's like the sun's come out, the spring in their step. And I actually had a husband ring me. His wife came for a reading, and he goes, what on earth did you do to her? You know, and she, because he felt he got his wife back, you know. And all it was for her to give herself permission to be herself.
Yes.
And that is sometimes the most incredible obstacle that individuals can find in dropping that mask and taking it off and leaving it in the wayside and saying, do you know what, this is me, take it or leave it, this is me. And that is the most rewarding part, the empowerment of the individual. Yeah.
I find it so powerful right now because, you know, the whole world is required to wear a mask. And here we are having a conscious conversation about taking off the mask to be some kitty cat mask.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Suki, will you put your information in the comments so people can reach out to you? Because I know there's going to be people who would like support and help to shift and change where they are, who they are, how they're showing up, and to get rid of some of the masks. And Priscilla, you as well. You know, and Derek, I know you do this. You know, all of you, Ashley, you know, please put all of your information in the comments so people can get booked with you to really, you know, because I just feel like today is the day and now is the time. You know, a lot. And I feel as though, you know, and you know, we'll just go to ending kind of comments, because I get that you all have something within you that's gonna just shine brightly. So yeah, who would like to start? Derek, you're smiling away.
Sure. The big thing I heard is, are you wearing the mask, or is the mask wearing you? And you can wear a mask to step into the energy of being that best-selling author or being what you need to be for your family. But when the mask starts wearing you, it could be that there's some internal work that needs to be done, because we are not our masks. No matter if they're for a good reason or not, whatever the reason is, we are not that. We're so much more. We're unlimited. We're pure potential. Thank you. I had such a blast with you guys today.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for being the divine masculine, because a lot of people say that it's just the women, that paint their face and wear the masks. But, men a lot of times have a lot on their shoulders.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, there's an
sometimes
ingrained
more
image
than
there.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Derek, for being vulnerable, and honest, and being here and just, laying it all out. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
So powerful, so potent. Miss Ashni, what are your final thoughts on mask wearing or not mask wearing?
Not mask wearing, not
No mask. No mask for you.
No mask. That's like,
Maskless.
It doesn't work. But I would like to share that for the individual, whoever is like on that journey, knowing how nicely Derek said it. Are you wearing the mask or is the mask wearing you? Check in with your energy levels. See how you're feeling. If you are feeling drained when you're putting up a face or when you're doing stuff, just know you're not being authentic. So go back to being you. Suki said it a few times as well. Go back to being you. And it's easy and it can be uncomfortable, but you can do it. You can do it. You came in this world being you. Along the way, you have had experiences that kind of like blocked you from being you. You are still in there. Wherever you are still there. You beautiful, wonderful, amazing you is still in there. Come out. Let yourself shine out. And if you need help, we're here. There is help. So we're here for you. And enjoy like each moment. Yes.
Thank you. Your life's not falling apart. It's falling into place, huh, Ashni?
Yes. Not falling apart, falling into place. There we go.
I love
Priscilla, what, with your wisdom and guidance, what are your last thoughts today?
I think in terms of everything we've been talking about tonight, in terms of the masks we wear, so many of us, as you say, put on the mask of mother, daughter, host of the show, pilot, all these different masks that we put on and we wear them because we think that's what the world wants to see. And so many of my clients that come to me, I teach them the fact that, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to think of yourself. So I always say this year is a me year. Yeah. So it's all about me, and about what I need, what my soul needs, what me needs, to shine and to really be authentic. In my own journey, it took me a long time to be authentic in who I was. I had to always hide behind something, coming from a very Roman Catholic background and not being accepted as being a psychic medium. And anytime people would ask me, so what do you do for a living? And I'd say, oh, I'm a counselor or a life coach, or, I would never be my true self. So I was wearing these different masks. And I remember.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh, she's gone.
She will be back.
Yes.
Back. And you guys are so cute. When I said put them in the comments, you guys are putting it in the private chat here that no one can see.
Oh.
No worries. I took it and I put it in the Facebook. So this being,
you got to go to the outside world because I already know how to reach you.
IT. Anything IT is like, Thank you, Ashni.
We lost you, Priscilla. Please continue.
Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought of where I was. Oh, okay. I just got so mad. I thought, oh no, it's gone off right in the middle. They don't want me to talk about it. So when my son was little and I went to enroll him in school in a little creche, I did a tour of the creche, and so the principal said to me, oh, so what is it that you do for a living? And I was about to say, I'm a life coach, and something just hit me the truth. Take the mask off. And I said, I'm a psychic medium. She goes, oh, really? I love psychic mediums. And that was a shift for me. Something small like that was a huge momentous shift of removing the mask. And after that, I would tell people who I was, and there was no marvel. Some people are going to appreciate it. Some people, show me the cross. And, one lady even brought me a little card that said, Jesus saves. And I said, yes, I know. I've been a direct line above. But it teaches us all about being authentic, and not, as Derek says, not allowing the mask to wear us.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for introducing us to Suki.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing her to the
She's an amazing woman. And when I was going through a lot of stuff at the beginning of the year when I lost my mum, she was just absolutely incredible. She was able to pull me through some very hard times. So I'm always eternally grateful for her energy and her gratitude and her beauty of her gift.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you, Priscilla. I appreciate that. But it's this is how spirit works. You get the connections. I think my final word would be to everybody out there is give yourself permission to be you. And acknowledge, and when you do that, and it's everything that everybody has been saying tonight is perfectly hits the mark in saying be your authentic self. Give yourself permission to be you. Acknowledge that you are important, and just as much as your roles in your family, in whichever place you are, those roles are important as well, but then so are you. You should be gifting yourself some of your time in the day for yourself, because it is your time. Okay. And again, start asking yourself what the first question is, what is it that I need? What is it that I want? And you will start to recognize the masks that are the most uncomfortable for you. And again, it's that journey. It is a journey that you go on, and it can be painful, it can be distressing, but think that when you get to that end of that journey and you start to really connect, trust me, it is the most liberating, incredible, enlightening, loving thing you can do for yourself.
Thank you.
So that would be my final word.
Yeah, I feel as though the earth is contributing, Mother Nature's contributing, like all the molecules in the whole universe, is contributing to all of us right here, right now. Like the whole universe is watching us, humanity on planet Earth, like transcend, this duality and polarity and step into our true divinity, and reclaim our sovereignty. As today is the day and now is the time. Suki, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for joining us here. Priscilla, thank you for bringing her.
Thank you so much, everybody.
To us. Yeah.
Thank you.
I do know. So everyone's going to have their information. You know what I get? I get that we should have like a mask.
Give me a choice.
A no mask party. Right? Like, I really think we should do that. How we had like a movie night? I think we should have like a no mask party, and what if we all came and we just talked about like one mask that we were giving up or handing over. We like put it in the fire. We tossed it into the fire. We gave it to Derek. Derek, you can burn it for us in California.
Right.
You even have this orange light on you. Like, do you guys see that? Like, it looks like you've got flames, man. You're like, you got.
It's always around this time as we're wrapping up. The orange happens.
Yeah, it does.
That's like this spark. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so cool. So I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Oh, we lost Priscilla again. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are here live at 5 on Friday. So Suki, would you come have a
Yeah.
no mask party with us?
Oh, anytime. Anytime. I've had
Okay.
a wonderful evening with you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me. And you know, it is an honor and a pleasure to meet you all and make those connections.
Thank you so much.
Is
Thank
Priscilla
you,
back?
everyone.
Yeah.
She is back.
Yeah,
back.
would love to be invited again.
We would love to have you back. So I think that we'll get busy on that. We'll
Hello,
take a look
come
at
on, come back, Priscilla.
I'm back.
Yeah, it's sort of frozen a little
You
bit.
back?
Oh, there she
I'm
is.
back.
She's
Hello.
waving.
Mm.
She's waving. We got her. We're
There
like
you are.
Pulling her in.
pulling her in, pulling her in. Cool. So, until we get to meet you in person someday, have an awesome weekend. Let us know how we can contribute to you. And until then, my friends, ciao for now.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Suki.
Bye.
Bye, Priscilla.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye. Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Ashley.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.